Okay, hi everyone. We still got a few minutes, but I thought I'd come online a little bit early to say hello and welcome you all. Oh, so nice to see some names I recognize there. Thank you so much for joining. Nice to see that beautiful face. Yeah, thank you all for joining. We'll start in a few minutes. I'll wait to see who else comes online. And yeah, so nice to see you guys. I hope you get a lot out of this this presentation, this webinar today. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while in order to help us really anchor into that earth energy. So I hope that you pick up a couple of things that will really help you all come back into connection with the earth energy, because it's so important for all aspects of our life, including manifestation. So a very important thing that sometimes we forget, because it's so nice being up in our intellect, right? So it's nice also to come back down to earth, feel safe, anchored and secure. And it is definitely something missing in Dubai. That's definitely something I know for sure since I've been here. So I guess just a few things then, as we're waiting for other participants to join. I know we have quite a few registered tonight. So I really like interacting with you guys. I think it's really important because sometimes when we have a thought or a question and we share that, it actually will awaken something in other people listening. So rather than just put up the hand sign or wait till the end, if you have a question or a statement or something that you'd like to share with this amazing group that has come together this evening, please feel free to just say your name and ask or state the statement at that point. And then we can have a little discussion around that. I will leave a little bit of time at the end as well if there are any general questions or anything that you guys would like to discuss to help you get grounded and feel amazing. All right, so just not long left now. So yeah, I'm excited to spend my early evening with you guys as always. I'm actually very lucky. I live over on JBR, so I get the sunset around this time when I finish. So it'll be a wonderful early start and finish tonight with the webinar. So very nice indeed. All righty. So again, thank you so much for joining. And I'll remind you one more time, please feel free to just jump in at any point with any question. Really don't be shy, because you may enlighten somebody else by saying something. So we all have the power to change ourselves and everyone. All righty. So
can I ask something already?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to know if this was going to be recorded. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave before it's over.
So yes, so Illuminations does record these and they place them on the website, but if you'd like to send an email into Illuminations, they'll be able hopefully to give you the link as soon as that's available.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thanks, awesome. Oh, okay then everyone, so let's learn how to get grounded and feel amazing. So my name's Ingrid, for those of you who don't know me, and I am a holistic therapist, Reiki master, and I'm also a yoga, Pilates and meditation teacher. And I've been working in the field of health for a very long time. I originally got into well-being and healthy living over 25 years ago when I first stepped on a yoga mat. And since then, it's been a journey of discovery, evolution, and just wanting to be in service and share this magical knowledge with everyone who's willing to listen, because really life can be in flow. You can get on that path. You can be in a constant state of fulfilled, balanced happiness if you just understand where your energy is. And now, since I've been in Dubai just 3 months, I'm a newbie here. And I was working in Africa before, in the center of Africa, in Rwanda. So this is the complete opposite of Mother Earth in Africa. And what I found with all the clients I've seen so far in the past 3 months, people are not grounded here. So this was my motivation to do this webinar, because I really hope you will get something out of this to understand the importance of being grounded and learn some tips to get you into that grounded, anchored state very quickly and easily. So let's begin. So what does it mean to get grounded? Now, we have a lot of keywords, don't we, around at the moment. It's quite trendy to say, hey, I'm getting grounded, I'm going on mindfulness practice. All these words are just mainstream now. When I first started all those years ago, no one was really talking about these things. We didn't understand them. So what does it really mean to get grounded or to be grounded? Well, what it means is practicing connecting to the energy of the earth. So the earth energy is called telluric energy, and it has a very low vibration. And when we connect to that vibration, the frequency of the earth energy, we actually harness that energy and we can bring it into our own personal energy field. So it's also about harmonizing with the present moment. Now we know this, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is one of the most famous spiritual self-help books that we have around. But it really is about not just being in the present moment, but feeling constantly harmonized with it, just understanding the ability to get there at any point during your day, regardless if you have to be in action mode at work or a busy parent at home, you can come back into that harmony of the present moment instantly. And then being aware of this energy field. So you beautiful guys that have come to see me, you know, I talk a lot about this in the free 30-minute consultation or before a session. I talk about our personal energy fields. So each of us as humans, we have this frequency that we're transmitting. It's biomagnetic energy. And science has told us that this is coming out around 2 feet around us in like a big egg-like shape. And that frequency is filled with information. And so what happens is when we get grounded, we actually become aware of where our frequency is, where are the balances, where is the nice flow in our personal frequency field. And when we have a beautiful egg-shaped field, also known as the aura, around us, life becomes easy. We attract the good things, we repel the things that don't serve us. But to do that, we can't just be up in the top part of our energy fields. We have to also connect with our lower part, our lower chakras, with the earth energy. And so being grounded means being really aware of where there may be any imbalances, underactive or overactive, or even completely blocked areas in this amazing energy field that's all around us. Getting grounded also means the process of turning inwards. And once you do that, once you connect to that wholeness of yourself, whether we call it the soul, the higher self, our consciousness, whatever we choose to call it, once you actually come inwards and you start trusting in that, in your all-knowing self, you become able to feel safe, secure, strong. You act more confidently. And more importantly, you feel fulfilled and you feel self-nurtured, coming inwards to self-nurture as opposed to looking outwards to get nurtured by other means, people, situations, events, things. So that's what getting grounded means. Does anyone have any questions here? Cool. All right. So why are we disconnected? Well, disconnection means not only kind of from ourselves, but also we are completely disconnected and isolated from others these days, especially in the crazy year we had with COVID. We came into complete isolation. And you know what that did for us as individuals? It made us disconnect from the earth energy, from the safety and security that gives us. So by disconnecting from others, we actually became really, really disconnected from the collective consciousness and the earth energy as well. And this has become a big problem. We've seen so many people now who are suffering from depression, from anxiety, from lack of confidence. They're not able to attract or manifest things into their life. And from my perspective, working in the field of energy, it's all about this disconnection from the earth energy. We also are completely removed from nature. like, as I said earlier, I used to live in Rwanda before I came here. And I was immersed in the jungles of Rwanda near the gorillas, a really beautiful resort where I was working as the wellness manager there. And it was an incredible place to be. And so I was constantly connected to this earth energy without even having to do anything. Then I moved to Dubai. Oh my word. The minute I came here, I just felt all my lower chakras go and I was just in my higher area here because we're removed from nature. Now, I think Dubai has done an amazing job of nice green spaces, the lakes over at JLT where Illuminations are based. It's a great place to go and, you know, and reconnect, sitting under a tree on a bench. It's really beautiful there. And I'm lucky I live on JBR, so I get the ocean and I see all the resorts with the greenery and everything else. But unfortunately, we're not immersed in it. And it takes real effort for us to leave our apartments and actually go outside to connect to it. I know my boyfriend, Theo, bless him, whenever we're walking anywhere, if I see a plant or a tree, I touch it. I will be touching leaves wherever I can when I'm in Dubai, just so I can connect to that earth energy. Another reason why we tend to be disconnected is that we've stopped living on the earth. We actually live really high off the ground now, especially again in these modern cities. So, you know, I live on the 20th floor of an apartment block. I am so far removed from the telluric earth energy, this grounding, secure energy, that I have to actually make extra effort in able to connect to it. And then, of course, we go to work and we're in, again, apartments, offices, which are off the floor. And most people will drive to work. So you actually go in the lift, down to your car, and off you go drive until you're into another lift and up you go, actually never touching the earth. So this is why it's so, so important that we get grounded here, especially in Dubai, but anyone who lives away from nature, of course. The other thing which is really interesting, we always have rubber on our shoes. So the soles of our shoes actually disconnect us from that grounding earth energy. Now, if you think about when lightning strikes, they say step on rubber. They do that because the rubber will disconnect you from that lightning energy. It will ground the energy into the rubber. And so this is why when we have rubber on our shoes, we're actually not allowing that earth energy to come up into our energy field. So this is why, you know, walking barefoot is really important whenever you can. And now another thing that has come up recently for me, which has really blown my mind, the shift in sands around Dubai, and also in all these areas which are desert-based or island-based. These sands are shifting constantly. So how on earth can we feel stable and secure if we don't have a stable foundation? So all of these things are most definitely contributing to the fact that we are not connected and grounded and anchoring into this important earth energy. Okay, are there any questions now? Cool. So let's have a look at how we feel when we're not grounded. So when we get these senses of feeling completely numb, desensitized from reality, nothing makes sense anymore. We're not reacting in ways that we remember we used to react. This is a really sure sign that we've disconnected from this earth energy. We have really limited sensations, awareness of the sensations in our body. We don't feel things anymore. Now, something that's very interesting, we all know what a feeling is, and we can probably name quite a few, but the emotion that attaches to the feeling is actually the action part of it. And that emotion, we feel first in our physical body. The cells of our body physically react, and this has been proven by science. So if we completely disconnected from this body awareness, we absolutely desensitize ourselves from our feelings, and we lose connection to know what we're actually feeling. So then we become confused and we go into deep states of mental anxiety. We go into stress states, and we even get into depression simply because we've disconnected from emotion and body sensations. The other thing is we can become overly fixated on attaining enlightenment or knowing what's on the other side. We spend all our time away from reality. Now, I've been guilty of this myself. I've spent many years living in yoga communities in different parts of the world. And it can get to the stage where you go so far into your spiritual practice and live amongst people who are also practicing these higher self-consciousness things, that you end up losing sight of the fact that, you know, I am actually human, having a physical experience here. And it's not uncommon for some people to get addicted to spiritual practices, just wanting to keep practicing and practicing and completely losing connection to the human experience. And I've known quite a few of these people myself. The other thing that can happen is that life can start feeling chaotic, because one thing about being grounded is feeling secure and steadfast. So if you feel that your life is a little bit chaotic and drama is following you around and you're just leaving mayhem in your wake, then it's probably that you're not grounded. And you can fix that quite simply. You sometimes will feel that you've lost control, that you have no control of your life, the experiences, the people you're attracting into it, what's happening. Again, this has happened quite a lot in the last year with COVID, people losing their jobs, feeling they have no options left. All of this, if you get grounded, you can bring back the security, you can bring back the ability, the strength to push forward and through those difficult times. Someone who is grounded is not perplexed when times are tough. Other things happen which are quite interesting. When you're not grounded, you tend to misplace things because you're away with the fairies. You're not paying attention to what's going on around you. And then you feel frustrated when you can't find things. Again, this is very interesting because it feels nice being away and all the way up here, but the effect on your experience in your life can be very frustrating. And other things can happen. You know, my true belief is everything starts in the energy body. If we catch it in the energy body, then we're able to do something about it quite subtly without, you know, much difficulty. If we don't catch it in the energy body, it's going to come into our mental body. We'll get anxiety and stress. And then if we don't respond or react or change at that point, it's going to come into our emotional body. This is where we're going to start getting depressed. And then if we don't deal with it there, it is going to come into your physical body as it's some kind of disease. So an illness or injury. And it's so interesting when that happens. And this is because you're not grounding yourself, that you're experiencing these things. Someone who's grounded gets less illness, less injuries than someone who is not. Other things that can happen in your life when you're not grounding yourself, you lose motivation. You become lazy. You're absolutely non-action based. You just want things to come to you and they don't, and you do nothing about it at all. You know, it's a really horrible feeling for someone who is previously an active person to all of a sudden have no motivation. It's a very stressful thing to happen, but this is a sign that you're not grounded. Also, this feeling of constantly being tired, no matter how much sleep you have. Maybe you go to bed at 9 o'clock, you wake up at 7, and yet you still feel exhausted. Once again, this shows you're not getting that vital life force energy from the earth. You can feel sluggish. You can feel drained after doing the simplest thing. You can also get caught up in planning and analysis. This goes back a bit to the action-based or the non-action-based part. It's about always looking at something to change, but actually not doing anything about it and spending way, way, way too much time analyzing the pros and cons. Now, I'm a total list person. You know, I used to be a lawyer, so I like lists, I like analyzing, I like evidence and everything else. But if I get too caught up in that, then other things start going off kilter in my life because I've moved myself away from the earth energy, which grounds me. So it's fine to plan and analyze. We need to, of course, we're humans that are having an experience that require that in this crazy world we live. But choose a time to do it and spend that 1 hour you've dedicated to it, as opposed to constantly being there trying to analyze and plan everything. Allow yourself to go with the flow when you can. Another thing, which is quite a difficult one when people aren't grounded, is this living in a fear-based world internally. Your thoughts and actions coming from fear-based thinking is just a really, really difficult place to be. And it's upsetting for you and those around you. So when you're feeling a lot of fear in your life, the first thing to do is just check in if you're grounded or not, because it could be a very easy fix for you to come up in the energy and alleviate and change and flip those fear-based thoughts quite quickly. Another thing that people who are not grounded tend to be are easily deceived and very distrustful of other people. So this is an interesting one. So if you find yourself, questioning other people's motivations or questioning if people are manipulating you, perhaps stop looking at them and check in. Are you connected to the grounded earth energy? And finally, another feeling, a way of describing what it feels like if you're not grounded, is a bit like a leaf in the wind, where you're constantly just thrown off balance very quickly and really not in control of what you do, where you go. You're just being pushed around. So all these things are signs that you are not grounded. And the good news is, this is just energy. All we need to do is reconnect you to the grounding energy, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. So are there any questions now about how it feels when you're not grounded? All righty, I will carry on then. Please do, as I said, jump in if you've got any questions. I do give a lot of information in my webinars. I like to share as much as I can in this hour so you guys can feel great about yourselves. All righty, so let's look at the positive side. How do I feel when I am grounded? So the first thing is you are present. Now, I love to look at kids when trying to describe what does that mean, being present, because children are incredibly present all the time, and they are some of our biggest teachers. And so it's when you give your full attention to the task in hand, whether it's washing dishes or drafting $1 million contract, you put all your attention into that. All your focus is there, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, all at that in that task at hand. You become fully present in conversations. I know a lot of us believe we're present, but how present are we? Are we waiting to see what we want to say next? Or are we genuinely listening and hearing everything that is being spoken to us? We actually release expectations. We release guilt, shame, fear, and blame, because we take responsibility for where we are and what we're doing in that moment. And we accept each moment just as it is. It's the only thing we can be sure of, right? The past is gone. The future is just some fantasy story that we're making up in our mind. The present moment is the only thing we can be sure of. So why not just accept it as it is? And if that moment is not that pleasant at that time, you can also know that nothing is permanent. And then just also understand, and this comes from really deep spirituality, I understand that, and faith, but just accept that each moment is perfect, and it really is. If you look back in your life and you see where you've come and the road you've traveled to get to where you are right now, it's really interesting to see that. Every moment leads us to where we are right now. So every moment must be perfect. And if you do believe in a divine power, in God, in angels, in the creator, the source, whatever we choose to call this incredible information-rich intelligence that is guiding us constantly, we must trust that everything that is happening to us right now is exactly as it's meant to be. And finally, being present means that you are the source of everything. Understanding that you are the only one responsible for your sustained, happy life. Only you. You are the source of your energy. You are the source of the energy that you put out, which means you are also the source of the energy you attract back. So by being fully grounded, fully in flow with all your energy fields, then you take full responsibility for that. And all of a sudden, blame and judgment start to just disappear from your life. So the first one, you feel grounded, you are grounded when you're present. Secondly, you're rooted in your own energy. So what does this mean? Well, I just spoke about that a little bit, didn't I? You take responsibility for your energy and frequency. You're aware of what your energy is and what it is not. So you need to know, am I coming from a high vibration place or a low vibration place? Am I attracting good things or am I attracting negative things? Am I doing things that are serving me or am I doing things that are sabotaging me? And if you're looking all the time at your words, your actions, your deeds, your connection to spirituality, your environment, if you're looking at these, where is my energy in that? Also, someone who is rooted in their own energy, they're not easily swayed or affected by other words or actions. They're not oversensitive to people speaking in a way that is a different opinion, for example. They actually just know who they are, have really good moral compass. They know their principles and they stick to them. They're also not overly stimulated or in a speculative energy. Speculative energy is that overexcitable energy waiting for something to happen. So they're not in that. They're just in this constant balanced state of kind of sustained joy and happiness. And they remain balanced in situations. They don't go from 0 to 60 in 1 second if something triggers them. They just remain balanced and calm in situations. People who are grounded and who are rooted in their own energy are also very strong. They are strong in their vulnerability, because you know what the flip side of vulnerability is bravery. And so by being vulnerable and open to expressing your truth and your authentic nature and your creativity to others, to the world, you actually show your absolute strength and bravery there. They're also very strong, they're emotionally intelligent, and they also have great empathy skills. So the third one, when you're grounded, you feel connected to others. So you're very authentic and you have reciprocal relationships. There's always an energy exchange. You feel on an equal par with all types of relationships, whether they're intimate, from family, or just from colleagues at work. Everything feels that it's authentic and balanced. You naturally set healthy boundaries. You don't have to sit there and talk about them. You just know what your boundaries are, and people feel that, and they don't come in and breach those boundaries. And equally, you're very aware of other people's boundaries and don't breach theirs. You find it easy to develop and maintain relationships, again, on any level, whether that's a quick chat to the guy in the supermarket who's at the till, or whether it's a really in-depth conversation with a really old friend. You find it very, very easy to maintain and develop those relationships. You're also you feel and you are very nurturing in your relationship with your family, friends, and also the community that you put yourself in, your tribe. So you feel very nurtured and nurturing within that, give and take. You're a very reliable person. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. And people can rely on you for that. And so they come to you for that. You're like their rock. And as I said, you have a strong moral compass and you stand up for what is right. So I hope all these things are feeling really good, because you can all attain these things quite simply when I go through the ways to do it. As always, I do talk a lot, but I will leave time for questions at the end, but do pipe up if you have any. The next way then is that you're in touch with your body. There's so much body shame around these days for men and women and children, and it really saddens me, because we are beautiful as we are, so long as we respect our body and we do the best for ourselves. Gluttony, of course, is never good for anybody, but we are who we are genetically. So when you're grounded, you actually have real awareness of your body sensations. You know what it feels like. You don't just sit on a chair. You actually are aware of which parts of your body are feeling the sensation of sitting on the chair. When you're walking, you're aware of what it feels like as you're walking. The muscles on your legs, maybe even your stomach muscles, how your shoulders are swaying. You really appreciate and feel your body. You witness pain, discomfort. You don't just go into this mad state of fear. You're like, okay, that hurts. How can I help myself? As opposed to jumping in, going straight to the doctors and trying to get a quick fix pill. And then you remain sensitized to your body responses. I talked about this a little bit earlier, about when we feel an emotion, we actually have a physical response. Our cells react to that. And when you're grounded, you actually become aware of where I feel anxiety, where I feel love, where in your body do you feel these things? And then that makes that emotion even more beautiful. When you come from the higher levels of love, compassion, kindness, gratitude, and you actually feel it as well, it's quite amazingly magical. And the other thing is you are motivated to eat well and exercise when you're grounded. So it's a good reason in itself to get grounded, just to get motivated to get back in the gym. Next, you find that you're in tune with nature. You actually want to be out with Mother Nature. You feel good, enlivened when you're there. You feel anchored and safe when you're walking in a forest or a park. And also you tend to want to interact with nature. So you just kind of, the earth energy helps so nature has many elements. So the earth energy will help absorb our anxieties, whereas the water energy will really balance our emotions. The fire energy of nature will cool down our anger. And then the air energy will create this beautiful inner calmness. And then the ether or the higher level energy will actually help us feel whole and connected. So connecting to nature, being in tune with nature, in tune with the elements, are very important place to be when you're grounded. And another one, you feel safe in the world. You really feel at home and safe in this reality. You feel like you belong here. You don't feel that you don't fit in. It's quite the opposite of that. And you have this sense of belongingness, and you kind of claim your right to be here. You are an important part, such an important part of this collective consciousness of all humans on this planet right now. And you know that, and you know that everything you do say, everything you feel has an impact, not just on you, but on the entire planet and all its inhabitants. And you feel that it's a gift being alive when you're actually grounded. You just adore and revel in the fact that you're alive and you can have incredible experiences here on this earth. And you make the most out of life as a result. You do things that really, really enliven you, enrich you, help you evolve and grow. You know, me personally, my bucket list, I have just one more thing left. I have done everything I've ever wanted to do. The only thing I have left is to be in the audience of the Dalai Lama. I hope that'll happen soon. Everything else has been ticked off. So you live with gusto because you know that life is a complete gift and it's our job to make it, you know, to live it. And we accept our highest human potential. And by that, I mean that we reach for the stars. And when we reach those, we reach for the next level of stars. We go through everything in life, always trying to obtain the best that we can for ourselves, not just make do. Not just think, well, I'm unlucky, this is how life is. No, no, no. Life can be anything you want. And when you're grounded, you have the strength and ability to go and get everything you want. And we also have a healthy level of spiritual practices for personal growth. So we don't go overboard and, you know, have 3 treatments a day or therapies a day. We have a healthy level of spiritual practice, whether that's meditation, yoga, Reiki, theta healing, whether it's going for a walk in nature and doing some walking meditation, and whatever your spiritual practice is. And of course, it includes prayer as well. All of these things are in a healthy, balanced way. So moving on to the next one then, this is what's going to happen when you get yourself grounded. You trust. Now, most importantly, you trust yourself. And this for me is the biggest thing, because we've disconnected, we've stopped trusting ourselves and we look to others to validate us. And that's not healthy. So when you're grounded, you consciously choose to have faith in yourself and in the unknown, knowing that you've got all the skills to deal with whatever comes up in life. You feel more conviction, being sure that what you believe and say are true. So you speak your authentic truth and you stick to that because you know it comes from your higher self, from your soul, from your heart. It comes from your truth. And you definitely live with less fear and you have much more courage, because when you trust yourself and you know that you can deal with whatever life throws at you, you will just do things you never thought you would do. And that is where life just becomes fun. And then you also learn to act on intuition, that all-knowingness, that knowing without knowing how you know. So it's that first feeling you have, you act on that because you know that's the right thing for you. That's a biggie, because often our brain will come in, our ego, and give us all the rational, logical reasons why not to do it that way. But intuitively, when you act on that, it's always the right path for you. And finally, we surrender to a power that's greater than us. If you truly believe you're being divinely guided and protected, and you know that just by tapping in through your energy into this intellectual, universal energy, the God energy, the angel energy, the source energy, whatever we believe in as individuals, when you surrender to that, magic happens. And I have a lot of stories, but not enough time to tell you those. But hopefully one day we'll meet and I can share some amazing experiences with you. So any questions so far?
No.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. So the other thing that there's just a couple of more of these, and then we're going on how to get yourself grounded. So it's your ability to manifest stability. So when you're grounded, you can manifest people, events, situations. Your life can be manifested to your deepest desires. And you get a deep sense of security and stability when you manifest these things into your life. You become much more organized and efficient. And you get really connected to the logic and common sense, but you're not consumed by it. So you see the importance of the lists, but you don't put everything into them. You also connect to your intuitive self and you make decisions based on both the logic and the intuition. And you take action to achieve results. You actually get up, you see all the potentials and you get up and you go and you do them. That's an important thing. And finally, you enjoy stillness. When you're grounded, being alone is a beautiful experience. If you actually break down the word alone, it's all one. And you become all one with yourself, your higher self, and you connect to the cosmic consciousness and God energy. You actually start enjoying meditation. So rather than be like, oh gosh, I've got to do another 15 minutes of meditation, you actually look forward to entering that bliss state, that wonderful place where you are during those moments of deep meditation, when you go into your theta state. And you're really happy being in your own company. And then, as I said, you can distinguish between intuition and ego. You'll actually know what is coming from heart, from truth, my higher self, and what is coming from my brain, my learned information, my knowledge. And then you can distinguish that and act accordingly, depending on the situation. And you're going to be so receptive to your flow of energy. You're going to have awareness of your chakras. And for those of you who've come to see me, I give you a free chakra, a chakra assessment. And it's so interesting when you see how the chakras affect different parts of your life. So when you're grounded, you actually have awareness. Oh, this chakra feels a little bit out of balance. I need to do this to get it back in flow. And you can also decipher between your high and low vibrational energy. So again, knowing that high vibration attracts high vibration, low vibration attracts low vibration, by being aware of that, you can keep raising yourself up. So these are all the things you're going to start feeling when you do the work to be grounded. And we're going to defy Dubai by all becoming grounded. So let's now look at ways to get grounded, unless anyone has any questions. All right, now here's the magic. And I've tried to make these as simple as possible so that you can start doing them immediately. And we're going to look at some of the ways now. So the first one is balancing your root chakra. This is one of the more complicated ones. The root chakra is at the base of the spine, and it's directly connected to the element of earth. And what this does, this chakra is where we draw up the telluric earth energy into our energy body. So it's the first chakra, and it stores our vital life force energy. And it's from this vital life force energy that we can feed our other chakras, and we can also feed our energy field. So if we bring up this earth energy and we feed this stabilizing earth energy into our energy fields, we will get stabilizing experiences and people come back at us. It also provides the foundation on which we build our life. It supports us in growing. And when I say growing, I mean growing and evolving as humans, as well as physically. And it also helps us feel safe in exploring all aspects of life and not just living a very sheltered existence. And it also, the root chakra, anchors our energy into the manifested world. So it's so important. If we're not grounded, we cannot manifest. We do not feel part of life. We feel everything is difficult. The root chakra, to balance it, what it represents is stability, foundation, security, survival, and strength. And when it's overactive, we don't get grounded. It actually is really bad for us. So when it's overactive, this is when we get really heavy, sluggish, stagnant. We become possessive of people and things. We become controlling. We feel like we're bogged down by life generally, and we get greedy. So when we're overactive, we also become reckless and careless. And we may go into hyperactivity states, doing too much, too much, too much. When it's underactive, we feel ungrounded, fearful, anxious. We have our head in the clouds. We feel unsafe. We feel really attached to things and overwhelmed by everything going on. It's often people who are overweight have a deficient or an underactive root chakra. We can suffer from chronic fatigue, extreme tiredness, and we can also get really clumsy. So if you stub your toe or twist your ankle, the first thing I do is check that I'm not deficient in my root chakra. When it's balanced, you're going to feel vital, responsible, secure, grounded, all these wonderful words, right? Satisfied, enthusiastic, calm, trusting, present, supported, centered, prosperous, and that means on all levels, including financial prosperity. And we're going to feel strong. So balancing your root chakra is really important. And the ways you can do this, of course, you can come to Reiki or do any energy healing session with a practitioner. You can do chakra balancing and alignment treatments with a practitioner, or you can do some root chakra and grounding meditations. You can go for binaural frequencies and use music. So 396 is the hertz, the frequency for the root chakra. You can play that in the background to entrain it and synchronize it. Yoga is a great way. You can wear anything red, and you can practice following grounding techniques. So we're now going to go on to yoga poses. So this is really great yoga pose now. Mountain pose. So this is where you stand with both feet on the floor. You just stand up straight, you close your eyes, and you can picture your roots growing down into the earth. You can picture you drawing up the earth energy through the roots, through your feet, up your legs, and then landing in the root chakra area. Mountain pose is one of the best poses for grounding yourself. Tree pose, this is the pose we see here in the picture. This is a great one for grounding and also balancing your masculine and feminine, your receptive and giving energy. Standing forward fold and seated forward fold. These poses are also great for collecting that telluric earth energy directly into the root chakra. Child's pose is a great one because you know what child's pose gives us? Surrender. We trust and surrender in child's pose. So that's a great resting pose to do. You can do any of these together or on their own in order with the intention to activate your root chakra and become grounded and connected and anchored in Mother Earth. And finally, corpse pose, everybody's favorite. This is the final relaxation at the end of yoga. So corpse pose while you're lying there, allowing the earth to support your body fully. So these are some poses you can maybe try out if you're not feeling grounded. Affirmations we can use. So I love affirmations. Affirmations are positive sentences, but what they actually do, when we say an affirmation or think an affirmation, we put mechanical energy into our energy field. That mechanical energy now goes out and it becomes part of that field. So you know what you get back? The equal from outside. So this means when we say these affirmations, we raise our vibration, we get higher vibration experiences, people, things enter our life. So here are some that you can maybe choose. I'm sure that one or two of them will hopefully resonate with you, and you can just repeat these all the time, especially if you're feeling that you're overthinking, you're away with the fairies, that you're over controlling, feeling unsafe, feeling fearful. Rather than continue and follow those thoughts, instead choose one of these affirmations and just keep repeating these. So I am present within myself. I am rooted into the earth. I am centered and I am strong. I am grounded and secure in the knowledge that all my needs are being met. I am grounded like a tree and stable as a rock. I stand on my own 2 feet. I feel grounded, confident, worthy, and whole. I am on my true path for this life. All of these will activate your connection to the earth energy. Oh, my favorites. I know all of you who've come to see me, I'm a little bit obsessed with crystals because they are magic. So crystals that'll be good for you. So any black or red crystals are going to be great for you. Here's a bit of obsidian, and this is red jasper, but any black or red. I'm actually wearing here some tourmaline, and it also has some red garnet in. These are very, very grounding energies. All crystals are grounding because they're grown under the earth, maybe for millions of years, some of them. So they're very much the earth energy. So I've just put on here some of them. Agate is very nourishing and strengthening. Black tourmaline is very cleansing and protective. Bloodstone helps you face realities and overcome challenges. Hematite, so that's the shiny volcanic rock that you can get. That's a great one. It's the most powerful for grounding and taking practical action. So hematite is also great for weight loss for any of you out there that want to shed a few pounds. Obsidian is actually called the earth stone, really grounding. I use this in all my Reiki treatments and crystal healing and chakra balancing treatments. You'll find a piece of obsidian on or near you for sure. And then red jasper is very stabilizing, and smoky quartz actually grounds negative energies directly back into the earth. It's like the earth on a plug, on a 3-point plug. That's what a smoky quartz does. So any of these, working with them will really help generate that connection back to the energy of the earth. Oils as well, my other obsession. I love essential oils. I am a trained clinical aromatherapist, but I don't practice that as in Illuminations, but I do use oils in all of my treatments because, again, we're working on the energy of the oils. We're bringing that plant energy into our energy field so that it can entrain and synchronize and raise our vibration. So a great way to use oils for grounding is to put them actually on the bottom of your feet. We have over 4,000 pores on the bottom of our feet. So by placing the oil, rubbing it in there, it actually will get absorbed into the bloodstream in 30 seconds. And within 20 minutes, it will have gone into the cellular level. So it's a great way to access oils into the physical body, and then that will, the energy will also then transmit into your energy field. So my go-to oils for grounding are cedarwood, myrrh is amazing, patchouli, vetiver, and also this one, sandalwood. I love sandalwood. Sandalwood is one of my favorites. And if you don't really want to put it on the bottom of your feet, you can just place a little bit behind your ears, even smells straight out of the bottle, but make sure they're 100% essential oils if you put them on your skin, please. So these are ways, again, working with the energy. Plants, of course, are growing directly in the soil. This is why they're so good for grounding us. They are directly connected to earth energy. Grounding foods, think about root vegetables, anything that's actually touched the soil, anything that's grown underground is going to be amazing because they've absorbed the earth energy. That's what's created them. So when you take a bite of that carrot, what you're actually doing is eating the energy of the earth at the same time. You're connecting directly to the grounding telluric energy. And as a result of that, your energy field is going to get completely grounded. Your root chakra will be activated and you will become in complete flow. So simply chomping on a carrot can help keep you grounded. Also potatoes. So for any of you who like your French fries or your potato chips, you know, now you've got a reason to eat them. Other things that are grown close to the earth, so cauliflowers, broccoli, cabbage, kale, spinach, anything that's touching the earth is where you want to go, really, with any foods that you eat. And the same if you think about fruits. Try and get for things like melons or berries, grapes, anything that's kind of grown as close to the ground as possible will help ground you. And naturally red color foods are going to be great for you. So getting those raspberries, the beetroot, a red pepper, all these things, strawberries are going to be great for you because the intention is for their energy to connect with that root chakra. Also things like, so if you're looking for flavors, you're going to go for the ginger, horseradish, paprika, cayenne pepper, sage and cloves. Those are the spices to go for in your foods to get the grounding energy. And if you like to drink a tea, then dandelion root is seen as the most potent when it comes to grounding us and connecting to the root chakra as well. But also ginger and sage teas are also very good grounding foods to put into your body. All right, any questions or shall I move on? All right, on I go. The next thing is to immerse yourself in nature. Now, I've only been in Dubai 3 months and I came when the weather was perfect and I was just, you know, even putting a jumper on in the evenings. And now I'm starting to understand Dubai as the weather gets hotter and hotter. So I completely understand that getting out in nature and walking barefoot in grass is not going to be possible all the time in Dubai. But what we can definitely do is start to think about getting house plants and just touching that soil energy. If you can get outside and touch plants, hug a tree, it really works. Just stop, look, smell, see, feel, use all your senses to connect to nature. Sitting on a park bench in the shade under a tree would be an amazing way to connect to that earth energy. And try gardening. If you live in a villa, please do some gardening. Don't just leave it to the gardeners. And if you don't, look at me. I've got houseplants everywhere. I love my houseplants. And every day I touch the soil. I have a little chat to them. And you know, and my intention is to connect to this nature energy. I grow aloe vera on my balcony because it seems to be the only plants I can grow. Most of my herbs have died, unfortunately, in the heat. And then also go bird or butterfly spotting, just connecting to nature in any way. And finally, playing with pets is another great way because they are just a pure consciousness and they are just always grounded naturally. So you can actually get grounded by being with your pets as well. And now we're going to look at the bad stuff. So if you want to be grounded, I'm afraid all of these things need to be limited in your daily life. So the biggie here, caffeine, you know, limit this, maybe even try decaf or every morning, you know, I have a turmeric latte. It gives me the same satisfaction of having this nice, creamy, warm drink. But it gives me and I put coconut MCT oil in, which is a brain activator. So I get a bit of a buzz from it. Or you can even use, ritual cacao. This is incredible. And that's now available here in Dubai. If anyone you need to know, I know someone who is able to supply the cacao. It's just incredible. This cacao gives you a really, really nice sustained energy, just, you know, better than coffee, which is a spike. Limit your sodas. You know what I like to do? I just buy sparkling water or soda water even, and I add fresh juice. This way I get the feeling, the sensation of having a soda, but it's done in a healthy way. Avoiding alcohol, absolutely. That is never going to keep you grounded. It's going to take you completely the opposite of grounded, as are cigarettes, cigars, vaping, and unfortunately here in Dubai, shishas. I'm not saying don't do any of these, especially if it's part of your culture and it's part of your socializing rituals. But when you do them in moderation, with the awareness that it's not going to help you be grounded. So do something else to get you grounded and make up for being a bit naughty. Pharmaceutical and recreational drugs, of course, are never going to be helping you. And also late nights, trying to get to bed early is really important. You know, I think there's a reason why the ancient wise yogis and wisdom keepers, they used to rise with the sun and sleep when the sun sets, and you know, and the amazing information they got as a result of being so connected to the sun and moon cycles is incredible. And screen time. I'm the opposite of this. I never have my phone on me. I don't go on social media. And I'm so disconnected from my cell phone. It's quite incredible, really, in this day and age. For most people, though, unfortunately, they're attached to their phones. So limit your screen time sometimes. I know it's an important way of how we exist these days, but sometimes put it away for an hour. I can assure you, you doing that will help you significantly in staying grounded. So finally, Albert Einstein, again, those clients I see online that have been to see me, I do like to quote Albert Einstein because we're never, ever going to argue with him, are we? What he said was, look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. And I absolutely love that quote. So I have now finished. So we've got a few minutes left, so please, anybody got any questions, comments, stories, jokes, anything at all that you'd like to share with the group? No, everybody, is everybody a little bit shy? All righty. Okay, well, I'll just tell you a little bit then about what I've coming up. So now that I've finally found my feet in Dubai, I've started drafting and putting together courses that I really hope will help you all move forward in your personal development. Reiki, of course, which to me is the best foundational course to do if you're interested in understanding more about energy. You learn all about your chakras, your energy body, and you actually get attuned to this healing energy, which will help you not only get in general flow, it will help you stay grounded as well. It's a holistic approach to health that works on the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and environmental aspects of our life. And it's just an incredible foundational course, not necessarily for people who want to go on and practice it, even though you will be trained in how to do Reiki on yourself and on others. It's just a really interesting course about energy. So that's level 1 is on the 30th of April. I have my brand new meditation and mindfulness course, level 1, on the 14th of May. This is a 3-level course. The first level is foundation. So this is great for anyone who is just trying to meditate. I go through the history, the theory, understanding meditation, but I go through the practical parts of meditation as well. Everything from how to sit or your posture, how to breathe. We learn several different active and passive meditations, and we learn how to put meditation and mindfulness into our daily lives. This is a 1-day course on the 14th of May, brand new. Then level 2 Reiki, for those of you already level 1. So this is where we go deeper into the Reiki practice, and this is the practitioner's level. For any of you who want to become a Reiki practitioner, this is the level that's needed. This is a 2-day course on the 21st and 22nd of May. And then with Tony, who is the Theta healer, and she also comes from a very strong psychology background, very, very knowledgeable woman. She works with me at Illuminations, we're doing a joint workshop called Awaken Your Feminine Power. It's a 2-day workshop, and you are going to learn so much about connecting to your masculine and feminine energy and how you can use your feminine energy in order to just succeed in every aspect of your life. Looking at...
Ingrid, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, 2. 1, I find it really difficult to disconnect because the outside noises are a bit much.
Yes.
And 2, all the courses that you're mentioning, where will we be able to find those?
Okay, so the easy answer, the second question, at Illuminations JLT. So that's where I'm based full time. It's the only place I work. So they're on-site courses, all of these that I was talking about. And in respect of the disconnection, yes, our monkey mind, our mind that jumps from branch to branch, thought to thought, is our biggest challenge as humans. And so as well as being grounded, it's about coming back into that intuitive self. It's about working on that third eye. It's about understanding that, yes, there's a place and a time for rational logic, but we need to come into our all-knowing self much more. And to do that, we have to really feel the first thing that comes to us in our mind, our emotions, and our bodies when we need to make a decision. So it's that all-knowingness will bring you away from disconnecting from all the distractions around us. So what is really wonderful is just sitting still, looking around the room and labeling everything you see. So this is a computer. There is a chair. There is a plug. There is a television. There is a massage table. Now you all know what my house looks like. And so walking around in your mind, it will help you come away from distraction. But once you get grounded, I promise you, if you use techniques to ground yourself and connect yourself to the telluric earth energy, just some of these techniques, it will bring you into the present moment. And there is the magic. The minute you come into just what's happening right now, at this moment, in my experience, just cutting off and disconnecting for 3-4 seconds to begin with will give you a change in energy that you'll be able to do it more and more. There's also, you know, on a scientific basis, neuroplasticity. What happens is when we disconnect, when we come into the moment, even for seconds at a time, we actually create new neural pathways. And when we do that, we can actually create strength in them, and we will be able to sit in a present moment for longer and longer and longer. So it's all about not trying to do everything immediately. That's overwhelming, but be really excited if you manage to sit for 3 seconds and be present. For me, certainly, I remember thinking I would never be able to meditate. And now I can sit quite happily for an hour, but this has been a 25-year journey to get there. So it's not about trying to achieve all now, but just trying to see what you can do in this moment. And you'll be blown away by how much you can do and how much you will change your habits, how much your actual way of living will change, because your neural pathways will always also change, and new habits will be formed, but these habits will be healthy. So yes, it's hard to disconnect, especially in Dubai. I mean, gosh, we're constantly being bombarded by information. But once you start practicing being in the moment and being aware of your energy, watch the magic happen, I promise you. And, you know, I used to be a lawyer, so I'm very evidence-based. Everything I talk about is through personal experience or experience of clients. And this magic is available for you. You just need to put in the practice. That's it. Perfect. And anyone else? Questions? That was a great, great question. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, I do. I have a question. Hi, I'm Rola.
Hi.
I saw
Rola.
you a couple of days ago.
Yes,
Hi, how are you? How's everything?
I'm very well. Nice to hear your voice.
Thank you, Siri. Thank you. That was an amazing session. Thank you so much. Very useful information. I have a question.
Sure.
It's about being high in the sky. Now, for me, I am a firm believer of law of attraction, and this is how I live my life for the past 7 to 8 years, and it transferred my life in an amazing way.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw you, you told me that I'm not grounded, and I feel that because most of the time I'm daydreaming. I'm being efficient. I'm doing my job and everything, but daydreaming and being happy, like this high, is like part of my personality.
Sure.
Now, for me, if I'm my fear is if I'm gonna be like grounded, or like if I'm gonna ignore this high, you know, for me this high is the power of attraction, because I know when I reach that really high level of energy, I feel like stuff is coming. Class, I feel it. I know it's on the way. But I understand what you're saying, because sometimes if it doesn't happen in the way that I want and in the speed that I want, I feel frustration. So it's a high and then it's a down.
Exactly. Yeah, you're spot on. Absolutely. And what we've got to remember is that in order for what we manifest, so you're quite right, when we're connected to our higher self, when we're connected to the higher levels of being and the higher levels of consciousness, it's much easier to manifest. However, manifestation can only physically take place when you're grounded, because if we haven't anchored into the earth energy and the root chakra relate directly to the physical experience. So even though the manifestation, you are there, you've put out all the positive thoughts, actions and deeds, you've got everything here, but it's not coming in a timely fashion, it's because it can't find its way into the physical experience. So the root chakra and being grounded is directly linked to the energy of the physical experience we're having. So 100%, you are an absolute, joy to be around, Rola. I loved our session, and you are high energy. But yes, if you're not grounded, that's why things aren't coming in a timely manner. So it's not about giving up that connection to this light fairy pixie energy that you have, but it's about
because I feel like I'm addicted, like a person who's addicted to heroin, and when I change the way that I'm thinking, I become like grumpy, and I feel like something is wrong and something is missing,
when we change the flow of our energy, it always feels uncomfortable. And this is why in Reiki we actually call them healing crises, when we actually change the flow of energy or reconnect energy that has been disconnected, because we can go through this whole complete either emotional or mental or even physical reaction to these new connections. But at the end of the day, even though it's wonderful to be in a higher dimension, because it is a happy, blissful state, having sustained, balanced fulfillment and happiness with the option to come into pleasures when you choose is the correct way to live as a human, to have an experience that is not a roller coaster ride, where we eliminate the frustrations and fears. So we still can come up. I still choose to have instant pleasures. I still choose to go for brunch, for example. I know that's not good for me physically, and I know it's low vibration, but I will do it with awareness, and then I'll come back to my sustained, fulfilled place of balance. So I do understand. I'm happy away with the fairies as well. But in order for my life to be in true flow, I also ground myself as often as possible. So it's choices, where you want to be in the moment.
Yeah. So I can allow myself to go up a little bit.
Just think, you enjoy it and it's guilt-free, no judgment. If you're going to go up there, you do it guilt-free with the awareness that you're not being grounded, and give yourself a promise that you will get grounded when you leave for work the next morning.
Yes, because it's so beautiful. Like it gives me energy to do a lot of things and in an effective way. But when the magic is gone, I feel frustration. So
yeah, I know, but the magic is always there. It just comes in different ways. And watch how you manifest much more quickly when you also connect to the anchoring.
This is my intention for working with you, because I know there's a lot of things. I call it in my vortex. I don't know if you know Abraham Hicks. I'm a follower of hers. Yeah. So I know there's a lot of things, but they're not manifesting yet, or at least not with the speed that I want. So my intention with my work with you is I want to see how this will affect the speed of manifesting.
We're going to get you grounded, Rola, I promise.
But I want to be able to go up as well.
You will. We will not disconnect from that higher realm that you like to be in either. But perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, Rola. It's been lovely to hear your voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cool. Excellent. Anyone else got any questions? No. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed it as always. Yeah, hopefully you can come join on my next webinar or one of my meditations. Come see me or come to any of these courses, whatever feels nice. But connecting with you is always a joy and pleasure. So until next time, everyone, I shall see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.